Jackson, he's been playing well. I mean, if it is a quarterback controversy, why would you take Taven Jackson out of the starting quarterback?
I would not take Taven out. I think Taven probably deserves to start this week at least. Give Cam maybe another week of practice, and if you want to have more of a battle going into next week, then we can have that conversation. But I mean, Taven's had the last 2 weeks or pretty much a game and a half, and he's played pretty darn well. And Frost talked about that too. He's like, I'm more impressed with his preparation than I've ever been before. So I think he has led them pretty well offensively these last 2 weeks. So I think it's his job to lose right now.
What's impressed you about the UCF offense?
I'm going to be honest, not really much. If we're being, and listen, I'm trying to
brutally honest.
Listen, like last week was a better week than week one. Week one was a real struggle, and I think it was just Cam Fancher started, got hurt, didn't look all that good early. Then Taven came in. I think had to try and figure it out as he went. Last week, the week before last week, he really kind of settled in, but he wasn't perfect.
No.
There were some throws he should have made. He really started out strong, and then as the game kind of went on, especially in that second quarter, missed some throws he should have made. But I think he's probably gotten more comfortable over the last couple weeks. I think he's clearly, in my opinion, the most talented quarterback on the roster. So to that point, I think he's earned the starting role. But then again, you kind of throw it in where does a quarterback lose his starting job because of an injury?
And that's the thing, right? Fancher didn't lose his job. He got injured. And he did win the job out of camp. So,
that first quarter, though, in that first game was rough.
It was rough.
You can make the argument he was going to get pulled before the injury anyway.
Well, we don't know that.
But we don't know that for certain. We just know he was not playing good football. And do you throw him, if he is healthy and he's able to play, do you throw him out there against an actual opponent?
Yeah.
This isn't a North Carolina A&T where you can kind of throw him out there and let the chips fall where they may. This is a game that actually kind of matters.
Are we seeing the benefits of drawing out a quarterback competition to the end of camp? Because now you have Taven Jackson, who has been playing very good football for all intents and purposes with the starting group. I would imagine throughout camp he was practicing with the first unit, just like Cam Fancher was, and just like Ja'Carri Brown was. If it was a legitimate quarterback competition, you would have all three guys sharing first unit reps, right?
Yes, and I think the staff did the right thing. We don't know how they divvied it up, but we do know that they all were getting reps with the first team and they were switching them out. We know Cam Fancher won it because of his amount of starts in college football, but I think Taven has finally cared. I think that was kind of the issue with Taven was when we saw him in spring, he was by far the best thrower of the football. He was, in my opinion, the best quarterback out of all of them. But I think ultimately it came down to Taven almost needed to lose the job to kind of have that, now I care. And now you're kind of seeing the benefits after that. But he's got to keep it up, and we'll see who starts this Saturday.
So now we have a UCF team coming off a bye week and coming off momentum. I mean, you had a close game in game one and then a blowout game in game two, a game they were not only supposed to win, but win handily against an FCS opponent. But momentum's a real thing, right? So, I mean, that's a positive going into this UNC game, no?
It is. Definitely them playing last week. I think there's positives and negatives. Them playing last week definitely helps. You stay fresh, you stay focused. You won handedly, so that helps boost some confidence. I think Gio Lopez is a guy that needs that confidence. Didn't play all that good last week, really the whole season, but he kind of needed getting those reps. But I think for UCF last week, getting the week off, kind of reevaluating, focusing on the things you needed to focus on, probably helped them. And the week off probably definitely helped them kind of get recharged and get ready for this game. So I think there's positives and negatives, and then you get the week off, so yes, that can help you, but also can hurt you if there's a little bit of rust. So it should be interesting, and that's where I think we really don't know where these teams are in terms of talent, and we're going to get a good idea because I do think these teams are pretty much in the same spot in terms of talent or level in college football.
Yeah, I mean, you get a game against an FCS opponent where you get to really put things together. You get an extra week to prepare for a Bill Belichick defense, which could provide a lot of trouble, and UNC is easily the most difficult opponent they've had to face so far this season. This could be a fun game. I mean, not that these teams are you know.
I think it's going to be a really fun game, honestly.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty evenly matched.
Yeah.
Like Sean said, we don't know like much about what UCF can or can't be. UNC, like the last time they faced a team similarly to UCF, week 1, I mean, they got blown out at home with all that energy, in North Carolina. So I think it's going to be a very exciting game. I really do.
What about the atmosphere, Evan?
It's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I tried to tell you about
It's going to
it.
be awesome. If you've never been inside the bounce house whenever it's fully bouncing, as they say, I mean, it truly does bounce. I mean, it's when that place is full, when the energy's there, I mean, there's not much of a better atmosphere in college football.
And I think that's what, to that point, we were kind of talking beforehand how Gio Lopez, the quarterback of UNC, this is going to be an atmosphere for him. He has not played in a Power 4 atmosphere except LSU. That's his only Power 4 kind of moment on the road where he's had to go into a really hostile environment to this magnitude. And I think, to be fair, UNC has not played a road game. They played at Charlotte, but that was not a road game. That was a home game for North Carolina. So this is going to be the first real road test. So yes, they've kind of had 3 games under their belt. They're continuing to play. But for a quarterback that's really struggled the first 3 games, this is not the ideal place you want to play in your first real true road test, because the UCF fans are going to pack this place out and the students are going to show why it's so difficult to play in the bounce house.
It's going to be a fun atmosphere. We have a lot more to get to in this show. Right now we're going to take a quick break, and we'll see you on the other side. Stay tuned. All right, welcome back inside the Fox 35 Sports Zone. Jonah Karp, Evan Collins, Sean Green. We're talking about this UNC-UCF game that's happening on Saturday on Fox 35. And we had a great conversation to open the show. I want to Wizard of Oz this thing real fast because I'm going to be pushing these buttons. I didn't get all of that adventurous in the first part of this, but we have all these. Oh, there you go. No warning for Evan.
A little bit. Here we go.
There we go. How about that? And I have this thing. That's it. Oh, there we go.
Hey, I'm back.
All right. We're gonna try some things. It's live. That's why we try things. You know, during the break we were talking about the quarterback situation. Talking about how can you lose a job if you get injured. Mm-hmm. And that may be a situation that UCF is going to be dealing with moving forward. We don't know the status of Cam Fancher this week. He is practicing, which is a good sign. There's a reasonable chance he could be ready to go, but maybe not starting on Saturday.
Sure.
We mentioned the momentum thing, even though, you do have this bye week now, but momentum being a real thing, Taven Jackson's the guy that got you this momentum. Do you roll with him because of that solely? So it would make sense to me.
No, absolutely. And I think there's a couple things to it. We talked to Dwayne Thomas on Monday. They call him Speedy. And I asked him, what have you seen from Taven? And Dwayne Thomas did not speak very much at all in the presser. He gave very short answers. But when I asked him about Taven, he gave a very good long answer on just what he's seen and the differences in how Taven's kind of approached the job and how they've kind of been coming together, the quarterbacks and the receivers, with him being kind of the quarterback one. And to your point, I do think that does play a factor. It also, Taven, and this is just another wrinkle, but Steve Belichick, who's the defensive coordinator of North Carolina, he was the defensive coordinator of Washington last season. And Taven's only start last season was against Washington. So I do think there is some, not just the factor of you got some momentum, you beat down North Carolina A&T, and you had a bye week where he's kind of been your quarterback one for the last 3 weeks, but there is some, he's been the guy, he's got some familiarity, and you are paying him a lot of money, so there also is that wrinkle. But I do think it kind of goes into itself with him being the starter.
You have that old adage of if you have multiple quarterbacks, you have no
none.
Quarterbacks.
Yep.
I don't think that's true with this team. You have 3 guys. Well, you have 2 guys in Fancher and Jackson who can legitimately run this offense. And then you have a guy in Ja'Cory Brown who is great on his feet. You could use it. Yeah, you can use in specific packages in Wildcat situations. So this could be come game 5 or 6, you could very reasonably have packages with all 3 guys.
And I think that they should have packages for all 3 guys. I mean, you look at what Ja'Cory Brown did last week on the ground. I mean, he ran for over 100 yards, I think, on 5-6 carries. Like you said in the break, the Iowa State game last year, when he came in, I mean, he showed quite a bit. I don't think that he's the guy that I would start, but you definitely want to have packages for him to show UNC's defense a little bit of different looks here and there. But I do think it's a 2-dog race between Cam and Taven. I'd roll with Taven specifically because he has been the guy the last 2 weeks, like you said, momentum. And also, like you said, he looked pretty darn good against Steve Belichick's defense last year. So, I agree with both of you. I think that it's Taven's job to lose right now. But, like you said, Scott's kind of up in the air himself, so I guess we'll see what happens.
What'd you think of this shot, Evan?
I mean, honestly, I'm normally in a hat, so the hair, I don't know. It's honestly not bad. I'll have to start winking at the camera.
I think it looks good. What'd you use, mousse in that?
No, hairspray, dude. Hairspray. I'm a hairspray guy.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. I know that about you. Good morning, Baltimore. Broadway joke. I want to get into the rushing conversation because week 1, it was all Miles Montgomery. Mm-hmm. And then you throw Jaden Nixon into the mix, who had a great game in game 2. Is this a thunder-lightning combination we could see moving forward?
Absolutely. I think week 1, I just don't think they use Jaden Nixon the right way. He's not really a north-to-south downhill runner. You have to get him out in space and use him. Miles Montgomery is a guy that can do both. The run game needs to be better. I know that's crazy to say. You can't go look at the stats from last week and say that UCF, it's hard to say when I think they ran for 350, 400 yards. UCF needs to run the ball better. They have not been good. The offensive line has not been good at run blocking. But those 2 specifically are kind of the players that if they show up, it's going to be hard to beat UCF. Because once you start getting UCF into these play action aspects and these RPO aspects, they become difficult to beat. So if Jaden Nixon is running the ball like he was last week and then you throw a good Miles Montgomery, this team's going to be difficult, but it comes down to the offensive line blocking for him. And
I would just like to say, we're thinking of Coach Clark, thinking of you and your family, obviously. But how much of I guess he hasn't been practicing or at practice with them. They've got his assistant, helping out for the entire week of preparation. So, like you said, it's a big week for the offensive line. But what do you think that Coach Clark's absence is going to mean to this offensive line?
I mean, I've been kind of talking about it behind closed doors. Yeah, prayer. I said it on our podcast, but prayers out to the family. I know it's serious enough, and we're not going to speculate, but it can go one of two ways, like legitimately, and I mean that like sincerely. It's tough. Like your position coach is going through a really tough health battle, and it could help you, not help you, but it can almost give you a second wind of like, we're going to go fight for him.
Sure.
Or you can't get it off your mind. And I do think they got some good news to where you can kind of put your mind at ease. I think that's what Scott Frost said on a radio show last night, was they got some good news and it almost put everybody's mind at a better
Stable
ease.
condition.
Yeah, well, yeah, we knew that. And that's kind of where I do think the offensive line, who has played good but has also struggled in moments, especially with the run blocking, I do think they're going to want to go out and put on their best performance and kind of fight for him and play for him. So usually that happens with those type of players.
TCU gashed UNC on running the ball in that first week, and then they did a better job against Charlotte and Richmond, but Richmond was still able to run the ball decently well. So this is definitely a UNC defense, at least the front seven, that can get pushed around a little bit. So that's what I'm interested to see, of how UCF's offensive line kind of responds this week, to see if they can open up some holes.
Well, I don't even think it's just about, like the UCF offense against the North Carolina defense, I think is the number one question mark. But the UNC offense, not to put it bluntly, but they've been really bad. They're not very good. And I think that's where we're really going to get a vibe to see just how good this defense is for UCF. And, again, to put up 20 against Charlotte, listen, UCF's offense put up 17 against Jack State. I'm not sitting here saying UCF is world beaters on offense here. But they haven't been very efficient on offense, and I think that's where UCF can really take advantage. And it's going to be a tale of the defenses, who really can stop the opposing offense, and I know that's football. But that's really what it comes down to, really two below-average teams who can kind of be the better one.
Yeah, and look, it's not like UCF has played world beaters, but the defense has been the strength of this team through 2 games. So
Absolutely.
This is the toughest test, but the defense has fared well against the 2 opponents they've had.
Absolutely, and listen, the first game they won the game for UCF, against Jack State. That was the reasoning, because the offense couldn't do anything and the defense stayed stout. Last week allowed 7 points in the last 3 minutes of the game. So this defense, you're really going to get a good feel though, because the last 2 years, or really whenever UCF plays their first couple games, the defense looks outstanding, and we're like, this is the year the defense is finally here.
Right.
And then they play their first real test, and it's like, okay, never mind. But I think there's a sense around the program that this might be the defense finally where there's some stability. You brought in a new defensive coordinator that's been at a lot of stops. Not a lot of people in college football think he's any good, but I think with this new scheme he's brought in, it could fare really well for the defense moving forward.
We're going to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to make our score predictions. Not going to want to miss that. Evan's
been waiting for this one. I'm going to be completely wrong. I can't wait.
Oh, if that's not a good tease, I don't know what is. Stick around.
Oh, that one. You're trying to be cool. I appreciate you.
Oh. And welcome back inside the Fox 35 Sports Zone. Jonah Karp, Sean Green, Evan Collins with you. We have about 5 minutes left, so we're going to make some score predictions.
Went so quickly.
I know. We're just having fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, time flies when you're having fun.
Glad you're having fun. Why don't you make a score prediction, Evan?
Oh, gosh, me first? Okay. So I do think this is going to be, let me center up here. There we go. I do think this is going to be a really good football game between two teams that we don't know a lot about yet. I think UCF gets it done because they're at home. I told Sean this before we started. I do think UCF's offense is going to be able to score enough to win this ball game. I do think they might stall out a few times in the red zone. So I've got 26-21, and so I've got UCF winning by 5. UNC covers and hammer the under.
26-21 UCF.
26-21. 4 field goals if I'm doing my math correct.
I had to ask him. I'm like, how do you get to 26?
Yeah.
I was having to do the math in my head. I still don't know because I'm not a math guy, but 26.
I believe a couple of two
touchdowns,
2 points
4
in
field
conversion.
goals,
Yeah,
something
something
like
like
that.
2
They'll
points.
get to 26 somehow.
Maybe a safety.
Double safeties in
Yeah,
there.
safety, yeah.
Yeah,
Which,
somehow.
I don't know if that'd be a good game, but I mean, it'd be a game.
26-21. All right. Is that a scoregami?
Might
Can't
be. Maybe in college football.
Maybe. Probably.
NFL probably, but.
Tweet us. All right, what's your prediction, Sean?
Yeah, I think, like I said, it kind of comes down to red zone, in my opinion. I looked up the team rankings, which most of it means absolutely nothing since these teams have basically played nobody. But the red zone defense for both these teams is the interesting one. UCF is 7th in the country. North Carolina is 4th in the country. Yeah. So that is a factor. Against TCU, I think they were 3 of 5 in the red zone, or TCU's 3 of 5. So if that tells you anything, it tells you, yes, the defense is a bend, don't break. I do have UCF beating North Carolina 28-24. I do think it's going to come down to it's going to be either or, right? North Carolina might be up 4, and UCF's going to have to drive the ball down the field to win, or vice versa to kind of go win the game. I just don't think either of these offenses are necessarily that good enough to go do that. So yeah, I do have UCF winning, but to be fair, don't feel good about it, hate it. I think with either team.
I'm going to put a bet on right now, actually, because Sean told me.
If you win money, then you can just thank me. I mean, even though I hate it, I mean, go ahead.
All right, so UCF.
Oh, dude.
Do I be
You can't
different?
do it.
Don't
You can't do
Jonah.
it.
Don't do it.
You can't do it.
Belichick's coming in.
Oh, no.
He has not beaten a decent opponent yet. We don't know what UCF is going to be this year because they also haven't played a decent opponent.
Very fair.
But they are a Power 4 school.
They're at
Belichick
home.
needs. They're at home. Belichick needs a road win against a Power 4 school just to get some people off his back. I mean,
Don't just try to be different. Like you
but I want
Go with your heart.
go with your heart. Don't try to be different just to be
How
different.
do you know what my heart says?
I don't, but I know you want to pick UCF. You're just
Your heart's saying pizza. I know that.
It's the New Yorker in me. North Carolina 27-17. That's my score prediction.
20. That's kind of shocking. 17
Yeah.
points for UCF. Wow.
27-17. That's my score prediction.
We do want credentials for the rest of the season still, so. But
I don't know, but I'm not. I'm staying out of that. I'm going to keep my credential. I'm staying out of that one.
It's a prediction, not a wish. Let's put that out there. There's a
Clip it.
difference.
Clip it. Clip all the predictions.
yeah, clip that one.
In terms of environment, we alluded to it, but I want to go back to it and end on this note. The Bounce House is going to be rocking. There was that whole thing with Belichick calling UCF Central. Don't know how much of a factor that'll be, but it's an element. It could be signs, you know. So I think it should be fun. I think it should be a fun atmosphere.
I don't think North Carolina, I don't think the Central comment, I think everything that Bill Belichick has been about the last year of his life, I think that's enough fuel for UCF college students to make some noise.
I'll say this. He quickly, in his last press conference, which was the actual UCF press conference, he was about to say Central, and his brain kind of switched, and he said UCF.
There you go.
So he's got it right, but we're going to have some fun with it.
Well, I believe UCF's football Twitter account even changed their header, like we're Central Football now. So
we're going to have a good time with it.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Yeah, you might as well give a little fuel to the fire.
Should be fun, though. I'm really looking forward to a big game at the Bounce House. It's been a minute. Last one was really Colorado last year. This is going to be a similar environment, so I'm really excited to experience it.
Johnny, what number are we going out on? 59:30. We got 50 seconds. Sean, what's your podcast?
Charge On, a UCF Football Podcast. You can find it everywhere and anywhere. YouTube, we do video. We have a pregame and postgame show on Saturday. Pregame show, probably around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and then postgame show on the field after the game. So hopefully it's a UCF win, because when it's not a fun night for me. So let's hope for it.
Also, real quick, settle a debate. New York-style pizza or Chicago-style deep dish?
New York.
New Haven.
That is the better answer, but yes.
Sean,
People
good to
don't
see
know
you, brother.
football.
Evan,
Sean, nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you guys.
enjoy the game, guys. Later.
From Fox 35 Orlando, you're dialed into the 407.
Come on in. Join the conversation.
It is just for Halloween. Take your skeleton in. I don't want to see it in a Santa suit. I don't want to see it dressed up for New Year. Take it down.
Okay, tell me how you really feel.
Here's some food for thought.
So one of the most widely studied diets, or more of a diet pattern that's really gaining a lot of popularity right now, is the MIND diet.
Ooh, that's a good point. Tell me more.
You know why men are so lousy when it comes to taking care of babies? They have better things to do. Like what? Play golf and drink beer?
This may actually be a little more fact than fiction, at least here in Florida.
I know you've got opinions, and I want to hear them.
You're dialed into the 407.
Welcome to the 407. Happy Thursday. I'm your host, Marlisa Goldsmith. This is a new show for all of you. We want this show to really leave you feeling good. This is the place to connect with one another. That little orange QR code you see in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, that is where you can interact with us in real time. You can send us your pictures of your celebrations, video messages weighing in on different topics throughout the show, and just be part of the conversation we're having about our community. So go ahead right now and choose the news.
See this little QR code? Go ahead and scan it. We have 3 stories that are buzzing across the internet. You can also head to fox35orlando.com/your407 to cast your vote. Just pick whichever news story you want to see. First, AI helped a woman score big, but it's what she's doing with her lotto winnings that has everyone talking. Or a picture worth 1,000 words, but is a selfie really worth stepping into traffic? And what's in a name? Why some seniors say they are not quite old enough to be called seniors. Whichever story gets the most votes will reveal in about 40 minutes. Again, that website, fox35orlando.com/your407.
You know what time it is. It's time for our top 4 at 4. Here are today's 4 most talked about stories. First up, Orlando at odds? Morgan and Morgan in a fight against Disney. Will the kids be all right? And next, the beards are taking over. It seems like just about everyone is rocking some sort of facial hair these days, from the vice president to the New York Yankees. Third, beer and birdies. Talk about a good time. Why Florida golfers may be hitting more bogeys after they knock back a few brews. And fourth up, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Cracker Barrel's failed rebrand continues to bite them where it counts. Russ Rollins from Real Radio's Monsters in the Morning is joining us this afternoon. Russ, it's so good to see you. What do you say we jump right into this?
Let's do it. How you doing?
I'm doing so good. Now that you're here, it's even better. It's a great Thursday. All right, first up, can it get any more Orlando than this? Morgan & Morgan suing Disney to use Steamboat Willie in an ad. Now, here's the deal. Steamboat Willie entered public domain last year. Morgan & Morgan claims they contacted Disney to make sure legal action would not be taken if they used Steamboat Willie's image. And Disney, well, they reportedly responded by saying they don't offer legal advice to third parties. So Morgan & Morgan sued. Russ, what do you think about this?
I think it's sad. It's my favorite cartoon character. John Morgan is. I mean, he is my favorite cartoon character. He's a great guy. And you don't want to see Mickey Mouse and John Morgan fighting it out. That's sad. You don't want to see it, you know?
It's so sad because we're talking about two of the biggest powerhouses here in the Orlando area at odds. I mean, it's almost like mom and dad are fighting, and all of us, we're just the kids here hoping that we can all come together and be a happy family and live happily ever after, right?
Out of the two of them, who do you think is funnier, Mickey Mouse or John Morgan? I'll be honest with you. Mickey Mouse has never made me laugh.
I know.
He's cute.
But you know what's really changed the game for John Morgan?
What?
His social media. Have you seen his Instagram page?
Oh yeah, he uses some saucy language every once in a while.
Yeah. Saucy, that's a great adjective there, Russ.
Yeah.
All right, next up, we're talking about facial hair, specifically beards. Apparently, I don't know if you've looked around, they are just about everywhere. We've heard of No Shave November, of course, but the fellas out there are growing out their beards all year round, even politicians. J.D. Vance was the first major party nominee on a presidential ticket with facial hair in 75 years. It's almost hard to wrap my mind around this. So are you a fan of facial hair?
No, what are you hiding? Why are you hiding your face? No, I don't like it. But I will tell you when I did like it. Did you see when Jason Momoa just recently shaved his beard? Uh-huh. He ain't as good looking without his beard. He needed his beard. So I guess maybe it's different for different faces. What do you think?
I mean, I love a good beard. Now, I am a married woman. So don't get out of pocket here, Russ. But but my husband has a beard, and I will tell you, when I first met him, it was like a thinner beard, and then the longer we stayed together, the more that it grew out, and I just love that beard on that man.
You do like it, okay? See, if I try it, it looks gray, so it makes me look older, and I don't want to look older.
Well,
and
the silver foxes are in.
I had an aunt that had a beard.
Wait a minute.
And I always think about that. She had a gray beard, and I'm like, I don't want to look like my aunt Cat. That's bad.
Stop. Bless Aunt Cat's heart. Bless her heart. She is trying here.
She passed away, so she's all right.
Oh, rest in peace, Auntie.
Yes.
All right, so get this, Russ. There have been 4 major beard movements in history. Some of them we've been around for, some we haven't. There was one in the 2nd century, the Middle Ages, the Renaissance, and the late 19th century. Now, apparently, we're in the 5th beard movement of sorts. Even the Yankees switched their stance to let players rock facial hair. So why do you think we're seeing more facial hair now?
I don't really know. I thought, like, police officers, can they have facial hair?
I wonder. I would like to think it probably depends department to department. But, you know, here's the funny thing. I don't know if you have paid attention over the years, but in news, it used to be frowned upon. You never saw news anchors with beards or facial hair, and now it's so common that a lot of men are rocking it.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's not my thing, but I know that it seems like there's more and more of it, you know?
Yeah. Well, maybe for November we can get you to try it and see if you bring back old memories of Aunt Cat there.
They keep trying to want to make me do it. I just don't want to turn gray. I guess. Okay. So does your husband? Is he gray at all? Does he have to like
He is starting to gray, aren't we all?
Oh.
I mean, we're aging, and I can appreciate the salt and pepper look. I think it's a mature look.
So women like that. Okay, all right.
Like
well, maybe I'll try it for November.
Yeah, give it a try. I support. All right, Russ. I don't know how into math you are, but I got a couple numbers for you. The number 2 and 4.8. Any ideas of what those two numbers could have in common?
2 and 4.8. Yes. No, ma'am, I do not know.
Okay. So the 4.8 is the amount of beers a Floridian consumes per round of golf. The number 2 is our ranking compared to other states. Believe it or not, we fall right behind Wisconsin. So those golfers consume more than 5 beers per round. So I know a lot of women. Yeah, Wisconsin. Like, what are they doing?
I don't know, but it's hot, and Florida, we're hot. We gotta drink beer, and really, golf is so boring. You gotta have something to do. You gotta spice it up somehow. You know.
Yeah, and it leads me to believe the stories that men tell their ladies. Right, I know a lot of women out there are feeling a little validated right now because the husbands and boyfriends, they always like to say, "Oh, honey, I'm just golfing." But this survey from Heavy shows that there's more knocking a cold one back going on than teeing off.
Yeah, honey, I'm exercising today. I'm gonna go play golf.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah, there's always, like, I've only been a couple times. I just don't get it. I'm not a golf guy.
Yeah.
But it's hot outside and water's boring, so I get it. I see why in Florida they drink a lot of beer. It makes sense.
I guess so. And it's not just beers that Floridians are drinking either. Apparently, Orlando ranked second for the most coffee-loving city too.
No, real coffee?
Yes, yeah. And here are some of their favorite orders. Take a listen to this.
Okay.
I guess Starbucks, because I like the lavender iced cold foam matcha. I like one coffee shop on Celebration. It's coffee for the soul, I guess. And I like the coffee latte with vanilla.
Oh, I like that too. All right.
Marlisa, have you tried Cuban coffee?
I have not. I am so upset because there was some Cuban coffee dropped off at the station for the morning crew. Do you think anybody thought about us?
No, I guess not.
No.
And you know what I'm into right now? Okay, I don't even know if this really counts, but I'm into mushroom coffee, and I know that does not sound good.
Interesting.
But I will tell you, it's supposed to be healthy for you.
You mean you're putting the supplements inside of the coffee, or this is something different?
It's called, well, I don't know what you want to sponsor, but it's called Res, and it's an actual mushroom coffee. They've got all kinds of different mushrooms they put all together, and I know it does not sound great, but it actually is really good.
Really? And it tastes like mushrooms?
No,
it doesn't.
It's a creamy taste, but a little bit of earthy. I don't know. It's supposed to be healthy. I figure instead of exercising, I'll drink some mushroom coffee.
So maybe next time you golf, you can have the beard grown out and sip your mushroom coffee instead of the beer.
That sounds like a party.
Sounds good.